Guten Morgen, Deutschland. Guten Morgen, everybody. Boilon here, back. I am fully moved and in my new setup, and it's going to be a bit of a change. So both, this my setup is going to be a bit different from what you guys are probably used to. So we'll try to make the best of it. I'm going to try and get used to this as well myself, and hopefully we can get back to normal. So in today's video, what I want to talk about for my first video back. Obviously, we're going to be doing a bit of an event video here with See No Evil, which is coming out tomorrow at 2 p.m. But I also do want to cover some of the Xavier nodes that were data mined. Now, I'm not going to take credit for this one because I was busy the last couple of days in terms of doing that. So we're going to take a look at a few of the sections of the Xavier Saga that's going to be coming out on Monday. That's going to be in the second half of the video because it's going to be pretty important. And so there's some pretty interesting things that we need to talk about in that. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Okay, and the first thing that we're gonna do, actually, we're gonna go to the charts first for See No Evil, and I definitely need to get myself a Elgato Stream Deck because I need a faster way to move about my scenes a little bit here. But bear with me. So we'll go into full screen mode here, and this is the table, the event chart for See No Evil, and this one's gonna be pretty easy. It's not gonna be all that difficult. I think I don't know, maybe Scopely's turning over a new leaf in terms of being event friendly here. And you can see on the right hand side that there is going to be a total of 100 Daredevil Modern shards, so 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100 down here, just after the event item, which is more than doable. And there's a fair bit of X coins as well, 200,000, 325, 475, and some people might be able to pick up this extra 150 down here. So a fair bit of extra G20 gear that you're going to pick up through the X coins. And it's not really that hard because as far as what you need to do, clearing waves in Battle World, that's coming this coming week, right? And then you get 10,000 points for just blitzing with any character with gear tier 20. Now, I'm I'm not going to assume that somebody has this, but if you do have it, which I do, right? I have Odin at gear tier 20 right now, then you're going to get some bonus points for that. As far as the X coin payday orb fragments in here, what I'm not sure about is if there's going to be any free to play path for this because I don't see anything, right? There's no energy. It's so I think it's just offers really this time around. And also you're going to get some points for using Starjammers and Crucible at 5, 6, and 7 yellow. Now, for this, most people should have Lalandra, Groot, and Rocket. That's 3 people. It's actually like 1 attack because we're only doing 3 Crucible turns, right? There's no 5 this time. So I mean, I think that you might be like 1 character usage short of the maximum points, but more or less you're going to get most of this points. So it's not going to be all that difficult. Let's go over to the table though. So See No Evil is a 7-day event with nope, I clearly did not change that. Battle World plus Crucible, right? Plus a weird Blitz G20. Okay, my bad, guys. Total milestone points required. That should be right, but I'm just gonna double check here again. 3. You know what? No, it's not. So you guys are catching me live. Okay, this is terrible. The rest is right. Free claims at 3,500. That's 500 daily. 280,000 reasonable purple ions. The event item is at 63,000. This is milestone 13, and the 100 Daredevil Modern shards is at 82,000, which is milestone 14. After that, it's all bonus stuff, I guess. But as far as the limits for that is going to be 55,000 for Battle World, right? So we're just going to assume everyone's clearing this as usual. And then I'm also going to assume you're going to get these points, but I guess what I should probably put is like 9,000 and then 13.5. I guess is really like sans 1 usage because 9 should be fine. I guess, and like let's just put that over to the left. So just keep in mind that I think that people are going to be a little bit less on the points, just because if you're using 3 matches and you have 3 of the characters at 7, you should have Lalandra at 7. That you're just shy of that, so maybe I should keep that in mind as well. You're also going to get 10,000 points for blitzing with any character at G20, like I said, and the Daredevil Modern Orbs are $15 US, I think. So it's pretty easy, right? I'm going to go back there though, and I'm going to re-add these other cells. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back. That was that. We're going to add plus 55, plus this, plus that. And I guess that's to 99,000. And that's still, it's a bit shy of milestone 15 because milestone 15 is at 10.4. So basically, if you want to get milestone 15, which is the extra X coins, you're gonna need more Starjammers. You actually, you just need that G20. So if you have that one character at gear to 20, you will get to milestone 15, and that's not a problem there. You'll collect your extra X coins. But as far as the 100 Daredevil Modern Shards in the event item, it's easy. Like as long as you do your regular stuff and you have Rocket Groot and Lalandra at 7 yellow, should be not a problem. Ignore this stuff because that was from last week. And there's not a whole lot of it's a very easy event. There's not a whole lot to talk about, and frankly, this is probably going to be one of my shortest event section videos. Crimson Storm, the Raid Alliance milestone, isn't changing, so there's no real difference there. But I do want to talk about the Xavier Saga, so that's going to be the second half of this video here. And I want to give a special shout out to Casper1444. There's also some others who data mined this, but I think this kind of lays it out pretty easy to look at. And, basically, there's a few things that you really need to know. And the one thing is that for the Gladiator Extreme City section, they actually, the new characters for Vigilantes have their text activated. So that's actually really important. Daredevil, Modern, Hitmonkey, and Silver Sable have the passives activated where it says needs 4 or more characters. And that is pretty crazy that they haven't actually told us that. They never told us any of this going into it when they recommended specific characters for the Xavier Saga. I also want to mention that the Global Hero and Cosmic Villain section actually have War Mode activated as well. That's pretty interesting too. And then the Lalandra Cosmic Hero section has Cosmic Crucible activated. And that is huge as well, right? Because Starjammers was the recommended team for Cosmic Hero. Cosmic Villain, I believe it was Annihilators, and I don't know, maybe you'll get a few other characters. And Global Hero was Old Man Logan and Liberty. So this makes a lot of sense, but this is not information that we had beforehand that they felt like giving us. So this is really good to know, and that Vigilantes is going to do well, that Liberty and Old Man Logan is going to do well. The Cosmic Villain, I don't know, is there any War Cosmic Villains that's even relevant here? I'm not sure. But Starjammers will also do really well with Lalandra and Cosmic Hero. So I'm probably going to go for Odin, Lalandra, Groot, Havoc, and Howard, because there's a lot of Illuminati enemies on these nodes. We're going to take a look at them, at least these important sections. So the first thing that I want to look at is the Gladiator Extreme section. Now, this was on the website. I guess that if you had the direct link or the URL for this, Casper probably had this. I didn't spend enough time really searching that, but because I've been really busy this weekend. These are the Xavier Gladiator Extreme enemies. This is the city section. So this is going to be your Vigilantes and maybe Blade and Oath and stuff like that. So we're just going to scroll through this. There's a few things to note is that they do actually have preloaded turn meter. I know players love this, right? So 35% preloaded turn meter on these enemies. And you can see here that there's like Nowhere and Dormammu. And then this is interesting. There's some pretty hefty enemies. Ares, Omega Red Phoenix. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. Omega Red Phoenix, Dark Phoenix. Right, so these are some pretty newer enemies here. We have some Orcus a little bit here. So that's just one node here. Super Skrull, Thanos Endgame. Weirdly, only a 425k Super Skrull and like a 1.2 million. I don't know why he's so low powered. And then we have a zombie Scarlet Witch. Now, something really important to note: this is the city section, which does not have war activated. But I want people to keep that in mind, that when it's applied to the players, it's also applied to the enemies. So I think when we get to the global section, that'll have war activated, and the Cosmic Hero section will have Cosmic Crucible, in case that's relevant. Wave 3, we have some Thanos Endgames and some Gores. We have some Eternals. We have a Null on the city section. So this is going to be interesting, right? With some symbiotes too. So I don't know if this looks like a lot of fun. This is on the third extreme enemy, the third extreme node. More symbiotes. So that sounds like it might be a little bit rough. The Gladiator Extreme Node 4, we have some Absolute A-Force with Thanos Endgame. We have a Kahori. So this is more Absolute A-Force. And then we have another Thanos Endgame with just some random new characters, right? So there's some pretty beefy enemies in here. But like I said, keep in mind that, Daredevil, Hitmonkey, and Silver Sable will have their special stuff activated without the full team. So you don't need to run Punisher and Elektra necessarily. Now, is it still going to be wise to use them? I don't know, right? At best, maybe Punisher, probably not Elektra, but My concern, I guess, is that you're going to have to 3-star these nodes. So I love Blade and Oath, but are they going to be able to sustain themselves through these nodes to be able to get there? That's the biggest question that I have. And then finally, we have the Gladiator. We talked about all the special, unique mechanics that these characters are going to have. Actually, sorry, my square is blocking. Where's my cam box here? In case you wanted to see Gladiator, there's Gladiator in the bottom left. So those are the 5 nodes for the city section. This is going to be interesting, and we'll see where that goes. So let's go to the next one, which is going to be, now I don't know why it dives like this. This is Heroic Dark Xavier 01. Now this is going to be, oh no, wait, sorry, we should have been looking at the Shadow King. Sorry, Shadow King, this is the global section. So this is Shadow King global villain, heroic global villain, global hero, global villain, yeah, heroic, right? Shadow King Extreme. Oh, I didn't pull up. Sorry, my bad. I didn't pull up the global villain section, but this should be your Orcus, right? So let's open an image in a new tab. There we go. Okay, zoom in. Okay, sorry guys. So this is Shadow King Heroic. So this is your global villain. So this is probably going to be your Orcus or your Apocalypse, maybe, if you're still running them. I might just do the Orcus 5. To be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to be taking Apocalypse or not. We'll have to take a look at these enemies to see whether or not it matters. So we see some X-Men characters, some older X-Men characters. We have Jean Grey. Now, keep in mind, I believe there is no special text activated here. So nothing. Oh, wrong one. So that's nothing to be concerned about. We do have Black Knight, but Black Knight's not going to have War activated, and they seem to be like low power. We're looking at like 400 to 500k. So that's interesting. No purple ISO as well. Out of Time, Pegasus. These are some pretty old characters for Orcus to be smashing on. So let's see if there's anything. New Avengers. This is pretty shocking. Some Spider Society might be a problem, but they're pretty low powered, honestly. There's some Night Stalkers. This is probably the newest characters on here, honestly, is the Night Stalkers here. Winter Soldier, good God. Oath, Agatha. We do have now on the final Shadow King Heroic 05. We do have Astral in full, actually, with multiple Astral members here. And then we have Eternals, which is behind me at the very end here with Cersei and Icarus. So this doesn't actually look that bad, but do keep in mind, again, they have preloaded turn meter. So that's something that players are going to get really pissed off about. Not everyone. It seems like only maybe this node here at the end in the Shadow King that they're going to be going first. But their power just doesn't seem that high. So, even if they had inflated stats, the number itself is not that high. So we'll have to see how that is. Again, this is the global villain section. Now, this is going to be Shadow King Extreme, which is the global hero section. And I do want to give special mention that this is going to have a war text activated. So that's pretty important there. Let's jump on back, and we do have some Sinister 6, Superior 6, and Sinister 6 we have here as well. And then node number 2, we have some Inhumans, Karnak, what the hell is going on here? And Ares. So this is going to be like your Old Man Logan and Liberty. Like I said, I might actually go for Liberty, Old Man Logan, because of the war text activated. Wave number 2, this is all Inhumans and stuff. Like, it doesn't look that hard. We got some Mercs for money with some Old Man Logan, but I think that should be fine, right? Like, I think Liberty has some stuff in their kit. I'm not a Liberty expert, but I think that they do have some stuff in their kit to deal with things like turn meter, I think, like turn bar and stuff like that against Old Man Logan, so I hope that's the case. We do have some really old Illuminati characters and Human Torches and stuff, whatever's going on here. One Captain Britain, another Captain Britain, Dr. Doom, and then finally, behind my square is Shadow King here. Just in case you don't believe me, there you go, Shadow King for the extreme. So again, it's weird because actually on this node it is just Shadow King. But if I recall, he does actually clone your entire team, I think, in extreme mode. So that's probably why that you'll be fighting your own team. So there you go. And then we have Dark Xavier Heroic. Now this is going to be your cosmic villain, and this is going to have war text activated. So that's important to note. What I find really weird is that they seem to be in teal gear tier, even though it says 105. So I don't know if that's a glitch or not, but they do have purple ISO here. You're seeing some Dawkins, you're seeing some Illuminati characters, some Spider Society, Oath, North Star and War. That might trigger the turn bar stuff, right? The North Star's passive, so that's possible. So if you have any turn bar related characters, that might get blocked. But you're probably going to Cosmic Villain. You're going to be using like Null, Annihilators, stuff like that. Mephisto, right? Mephisto, Null, and the Annihilators. So let's take a look at some of the other. There's some some Starjammers, but they're not going to have their Crucible buffs. But there is a couple of Liberty characters, so they will have it, and then Black Knight will, I guess, as well. But if you have like Mephisto, then you should be able to just exhaust him, right? Unless that doesn't work. We do have some absolute A-Force. This might suck because, you know, they have war buffs, and that's probably going to suck. 2 Cohores, Miss Marvel Classic. We do have Jean Grey, Hercules, Wave 3, another Cohore. So this node sounds like it's going to suck. And then Dark Xavier, Heroic 4. We have Blade, Oath, Ares, Black Knight, Black Knight. That's fun. Eternals, more Night Stalkers, Darkhawks for some reason, and then Dark Xavier, Heroic 5. I thought Xavier is actually on these nodes, but maybe he's not. And so we have some X-Men characters, we have 2 Panda pools, and then where I'm in the way a little bit, you can see that there is Gwenom and some symbiote surfers. Symbiote Silver Surfers, and Void Knight. Yeah, that's the name. Why couldn't I think of that? Sasquatch, Hank Pym, Dawkins, Sasquatch. Yeah, so again, nothing terribly new. So that is that's Cosmic Villain. And then finally, to round things off, we have Dark Xavier Extreme, and this is going to be your Lalandra Cosmic Heroes. And we do have, starting off with like some Dormammu's and Hercules, Wave 2, Thanos Endgame, and a bunch of Gladiators and Dormammu, Kang, Spider Slayer. Node number 2, we have some Gores. We got some Gladiators, some more Annihilators, 2 Omega Red Dark Phoenixes, some Orcus members at node number 3, some Night Stalkers, some Sinister Six, some Alpha Flight. So again, Alpha Flight will... Actually, no, this is Crucible, right? So all of these characters will have Crucible buffs activated, but not War. So I guess that's only relevant to Sinister Six? Superior Six, right? That's like the only ones here so far that actually are relevant to Crucible buffs. But there is some Illuminati on here as well. And there's even, apparently, there's some Vigilantes characters here in the Cosmic Hero Lalandra section. So that's interesting, whether or not that makes a difference. But it's Crucible buff, so maybe not. Hitmonkey here. We have some Illuminati. And then the final node down here. Actually, no, this is the second to last node. We have some, whatever the hell this is. And then we have some more Absolute A-Force, basically Spider-Man, Big Time, Quicksilver, and all that. So again, they're not really playing to the game modes for the enemies, it would seem, that the buffs are actually activated. And finally, for the very last node, this is Dark Xavier Extreme. This is going to be the very last boss node of the Xavier Saga. And you see you have Xavier here, a bunch of other X-Men. And then on Wave 2, you have the Illuminati with Shuri instead of Black Panther Shuri for some reason. And then Wave 3, you have Magneto, Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Forge, and Gambit, so Extreme X-Men plus Magneto. And then behind me, for the final enemies, you do have Omega Red Dark Phoenix and Apocalypse. And that is the end of the Xavier Saga. Again, some interesting types of enemies, but just kind of wanted to just gloss over this a little bit as it starts on Monday. Like, you know, we're not going to be jumping into this. At best, you know, we're going to be, some people might be doing this, which is Gladiator Extreme. So this is G20 City. Right? And even then, probably only a handful of people are actually going to get this done in the first week. I am definitely not, but I just wanted to just go over this, kind of share some of the details with you guys. Now, every section, like the different difficulties, actually have their own enemy nodes. Like they're completely different. So the lower tier easy ones, I didn't go over them because they are different enemies, but I just want to share with you guys the important stuff here, which is kind of the G20 sections. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. So again, the event for Monday is going to be See No Evil, is going to be pretty easy this time around. Xavier Saga is coming. We have Battle World starting as well this week. It seems that Pocket Dimension is not starting this week. It's going to be probably the week after. I guess they didn't, you know, that's a lot of stuff to shove into 1 week. I'm just surprised that I managed to data mine that so far in advance because normally you don't. And that's going to be everything for today. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And as always, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see y'all later. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.